evening and welcome. Tonight, I want to talk to you about an exciting investment opportunity that I think you'll be really interested in. Have you ever wanted to 36x your investment? Have you ever looked at wealthy people and thought, that should be me? Are you lazy? Not willing to do the work that needs to be done? Worry not. Stick around. I think you're going to really like this exciting investment opportunity. But first, a word from my spiritual advisor.
Be silent. What you're about to receive is just for you, and you cannot tell anyone. Nobody can know about this. You gotta hush. You have to hush. Some of you talk a little bit too much. You be ready to prove a point. You be ready to show people your hand. Some of you can't do that.
I don't think this video is about AMC.
You have to be silent.
But
even
she's hitting a lot of points
with gossip
so far.
Even when people come to you asking questions, you are not obligated to give anybody answers to anything, especially people who were never for you during your season. During the season where you were down and you were trying to figure it out. And now that you have figured it out, be silent. You don't have any points to prove. Let your success make all the noise for you. You don't need to prove anything to anyone.
No.
Your success is about to speak volumes. What God is about to give you is going to speak volumes. There's nothing that needs to be said. Nothing. You're going to be screaming at them without even opening your mouth. Because not only did you move in silence, not only did you not retaliate, you leveled up in the process.
Leveled up.
That right there speaks volumes. That shows your character and who you truly are. That proves everybody wrong. You don't have to say anything. And do not think they're not going to come for you. They're going to come for you.
You hear that, Reddit? You don't have to say anything.
That's what happens when you level up. They try to pull you back down. Only somebody beneath you can try to pull you down. And you gotta know that, you gotta understand that when they try to come around, be silent. You are on your throne right now. You are standing in your power right now. You snatched. You didn't just call your power back. You snatched your power back. All that love, all that light that you've been putting out into this world all these years is coming back to you now.
This is
You're on your
very
throne
uplifting
now. And when they come to you, trying to get a rise out of you, trying to get answers out of you.
Did she just say they?
Trying to give their opinions no one asked for. You be silent. Because see, you have guards around you. Your angels are protecting you. Let them give the answers.
Yes, the AMC board is your angels. They're protecting you. They're doing what's best for you. So just remember that. Anyway, we were worried about him. We were worried about him and asked the question, where is ants? Well, I'm happy to report we have a new video from Ants Trades, AMC Squeeze Fractals, from about less than an hour ago. Let's do it. So, I wonder if in the first minute or less, we're looking really good still. I'm super bullish AF. I don't think anybody wants to take the other side of that one. Anyway, let's find out. Here we go.
What's going on, guys? Ants Trades back with another video. It's been a while, so I figured I would post an update video today. I think everything is looking absolutely amazing still. I'm gonna get into it.
There it is. Not even 15 seconds in. Not even 15 seconds in. You know you're dealing with a grifter when they can't even wait 15 seconds. Wow.
Pretty much just gonna be covering AMC, the macro outlook, the micro outlook.
Let me guess. The SPY is garbage.
What I'm looking at right now, and what I see coming, what I'm projecting for next week. So, really quickly jumping into AMC. Pretty solid week, up roughly 13% this week from Tuesday's open. From the highs that we saw here, and we got knocked off. We have a trend line here that is pretty much our halt line from the halt on December 1st, the halt that we saw when we broke out of the wedge on February 6th, and then this trend line is just riding down right here. I don't have it up right now, but you could just picture this from here down, and we got rejected off of it on Wednesday after Tuesday's gap up. That was a very solid day. And then from the top there, we just get 3 dojis on decreasing volume here. Today closed the day almost at the high of the day. We found the new high of the day pretty late in the day, power hour sometime around 3 Eastern, and closed the day around 6:20, up 13% on the week. Overall, it looks very, very good. That's pretty much it for this.
How?
I'm gonna
How does that look very good? I don't get it.
Screenshots I want to show you guys. So really quickly, jumping into GameStop. I thought I would just talk about this for a second. GameStop down 11% on the week. Absolute garbage. So that is that, and let's get into everything else.
Wow, that was informative.
Starting with OPEX. I showed you guys this in my last.
OPEX. Give me some of them options. Yeah, options. Aptions. Apex. When do the apes expire, by the way? Well, we know when Apex is. Apex. Get it? March 14th. March 14th, these guys expire worthless. Yes, they do. Let's see what we got here. I haven't really looked at this too much today. Oh boy. Yeah, that looks so super bullish. Super freaking bullish. I'm going to reset this. Oh. Coming in hot. Coming in very hot. We're coming into earnings, AMC earnings. What does it say? The 28th? Really? Next Tuesday? Is that correct? I think it is. It's on here. Tuesday coming in earnings hot. Yep. Yes. Good. So I think also I'm going to do a little aside here on this one. Scavenger. I'm just I'm free forming it tonight. We're doing it live. I'll write it. We'll do it live. I'm writing it. We're doing it live. So check this out. So Scavenger is going to update us on the OPEX here.
Guys, what is going on? Hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday and has a lot of good plans for the weekend. I wanted to jump in to let everybody know today was a phenomenal day with AMC. Not only did we get a tweet from Aron telling everybody and showing us a video of AMC perfectly popped popcorn being manufactured, being created, being bagged up to put on the store shelves coming soon in news, he just said on Twitter this morning. We also had a stock like AMC, which was AMC, of course, that did literally the opposite of the overall market. We've seen sell-offs take place all day today in the market, and AMC kind of did its own thing and stayed on this upper part of this trend that we've been on.
Wow.
Which is exactly what I expected. We talked about it
course.
last Friday. I expected
You
the
did
trend to
it.
continue. We did
Got
it.
it.
We've kind of gotten into this area of consolidation,
Wanna
which
see
is
him? There he
really
is.
bullish because remember, what goes up fast must come down fast. So if we're in a situation where we're respecting these zones and creating strong support in these
Wait a
zones,
minute. What goes up fast must come down fast. Doesn't that violate a principle of physics? That's not what Isaac Newton said, is it? Maybe, I don't know.
be great for us, right? And then we're going to hit that
Gravity.
number where we
I
eventually
don't know.
just start rocketing up. But as far as bulls versus bears today, I would say today's a win for bulls. And
Today's a win for the bulls, guys. Yeah. AMC closed 3 cents higher than it opened. That's a win for the goddamn bulls. I don't care who you are. That's higher. Wait, was it lower? Was it higher? I don't know. Now I'm confused because I thought it was lower. I thought it was higher, but now I'm seeing it's lower. I don't know. Okay, so close 623 yesterday. Okay, close 620 today. So it's a green bar because it was higher than the open. It opened and went up, but where it went up to was 3 cents below where it closed yesterday. So just to clarify that. Yeah. Hey, Ron, what's up? How's Iowa? Are you guys still 70 degrees? Because we sure as hell are not here in Ohio. And it sucks. And it snowed today. So, cold and snow. Yeah. Yep. Same here. And it's terrible. Anyway, so just trying to get
120,000.
Here we go.
There's been 120,000 puts that expired worthless today, which is equivalent to like over 12 million shares of AMC. That if those puts would have expired in the money and exercised, those would have been the shares they could exercise for at that put value, right? That strike price, but they didn't get that. They expired worthless, and that's a lot of money. Take that. 12 million times 6 to get your dollar value. That's a lot of puts that expired. Usually we see calls kind of get clapped, but this week there really weren't a lot of calls. There weren't a significant amount of calls in the money, or even out of the money. I think I've seen 25,000 at $6 or something like that. So really,
oh really? Well, I happen to have the Stonko tracker right here, and just because he's obviously using this, but okay, what's the date in question? The 23rd. That's today. Calls in the money 29,000. Puts in the money 35,000. Oh, wait a minute. Which number's bigger? I don't know. Oh, okay, let me look at this here. Highlight it. Oh yeah, 35,000 is larger. It's a larger number, right? Okay, calls out of the money 167,000. Puts out of the money 120,000. Wait a minute, I'm confused again here. And we want higher number on this one is worse. So, oh yeah, looks like calls again. Holy shit. Wow. So, how is this a win for the Bulls scavenger? I mean, you're literally giving misinformation. You're saying just bullshit, and this is the data, at least what Stonker Tracker has. But he said 25, 120,000, whatever. Yeah, calls, more puts were in the money than calls, and more calls were out of the money than puts. So I don't know how he can sit here with his Cheshire cat smile and say this because, yeah, this is not what the data indicate. Wow. Holy moly.
Really not much call volume, which is a great thing. This week was
How will he be a full-time trader with the ape mindset? Ron, that's a good question, but I would change it just a little bit. So, or I would add one word. I would add one word to your question. So, how long will he be a full-time trader with the ape mindset? Just a little, editorial addition, but and I say to that, it'll be interesting to find out. What is that? What do they call that? Like a flashbang. It's like it's gonna be like a flashbang, like really fast, so confusing, loud and light and smoke and all this shit. Just a big mess, explosion essentially. That's what I'm getting out of this here. A flashbang. All right.
was definitely a win for bulls. So we're on the thresholds list. Any amount of shares that come up to
Okay, I don't care about the rest of this. That's all I wanted to look at was 120,000 puts expire worthless. Okay, fair enough. But what about the 167,000 calls that expired worthless? You're going to cherry pick put data because they're literally, I mean, none of this should be reported. This is not news. It's not news. It's not a win. It's nothing. It's just the numbers. That in and of itself, I mean, if we're going to do that, shit. Um, But in order to portray a bullish bias, yeah, we're gonna make it seem like these put numbers are so high that this guy so high in a weed legal state. Well, anyway, you see where I'm going with that. Anyway, back to ants trades. So now we're talking about OPEX. We're going to talk about the options and the option expiration. Okay.
Last video. I figure I'll just show it again, where you have your three fractals here that I've been tracking for a very long time. Towards the end of it, towards the end of the pattern, as you're breaking out of it, you have OPEX on that Friday there on January 15th.
OPEX.
7 trading days later, you peak. And then out of this pattern here, you have OPEX on Friday, May
We're not trading oil.
21st. 7 days later, you peak. As you're breaking out of a pattern here and here, you peak here on 7 trading days after OPEX on a Wednesday. And then here, this isn't updated, by the way. This is a screenshot from last week. We have OPEX on this that Friday, last Friday, and this is post breakout of the wedge. Come down to test it, hold support here, and find a bounce off of it. And we saw 13% more upside this week. Said in my last video,
Boy, he's
March
trying.
1st, no dates, not financial advice. We're peaking on March 1st, no dates. It's still on the table. It's still on the table. I think things are going to get pretty crazy next week, but we have to just wait and see. Overall, it looks really good. So
that's markedly more reserved of a tone, even though it is retarded still. And he is absolutely, basing this off of vapors. I mean, this is vapors as far as I'm concerned. I mean, this shit is running on vapors. How in the hell are you going to sit here? I mean, we're going to hear about this two-year long downtrend and SPY and all this kind of. Well, he's not talking about SPY. He's only talking about AMC because that's what people care about. I mean, let's be honest. Why would any ape want to tune into an ape influencer and hear them talking about SPY? Seriously, and I think he realized that. So that's good, I guess, for him. But uh, yeah, this is like this this thing's running on vapors and gonna run out of gas on on the train tracks here. it seems like, at some point. And that'll be your flashbang for this guy. Every grifter has his or her unique flashbang. It's a flashbang signature that it makes it, investigators can recreate from that flashbangs. I don't know. It's
So
Friday.
really quickly now, just a little refresher for everyone that we have been tracking these bars for roughly a year and a half now. These are the daily bars from the pre-January squeeze overlaid here. Very, very little deviation here the entire time. Wedge.
Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this because this is some nonsense. First of all, I don't even know if I believe that these are actual copies of this. How do I know it's not been stretched and manipulated? I mean, it probably has been stretched and manipulated. So changing the scale up and down and left and right of the bars that you're pasting on there to make it fit. Now, I don't know that he's doing this, but I mean that these are the questions I have. I want to see the process of copying them onto the chart. How does one do that? How does one do that? And what about this major, well, okay, I guess it does reflect the gap down there, but is that really what happened? I don't know. But what I want to look at though is, and we've looked at this before, just getting it up on my other thing here, but I feel like back in the day, remember dual cassette decks, like two cassette decks in one rack mountable or 19-inch wide piece of stereo component, and that's what I feel like I got going on here with these windows. And one here, one there. I'm queuing up the other one, listening. Got my one headphone on, listening. Got to cue it up. Okay, there it is. Now we're gonna play the Macarena on tape. Um, this is equity clock. This is seasonality. So I want to see seasonality here, and I really wish that it didn't factor in 2021 because it threw everything off with this. Maybe I should do let me duplicate it and do um, uh, what is it? CNK. Is it CNK? Yeah, Cinemark Holdings. So Cinemark didn't have a squeeze, and so this would, in my eyes, represent more of the non Moass ape dealy. So just like normal, what it should be, quote unquote. So I mean, we can compare that to AMC even, and we see like this. We see some peaks in like May and November and December. So May, June, and November. But see, I don't trust this because how much of this was the irrational exuberance, or if you will, the where is it? That irrational exuberance, I think, is Greenspan speak, but thinking more of Jesus. Ah, yeah, delusion. That's the word I'm looking at. And we're gonna look at this book too a little bit. Um, and I'll let you know where I found that and everything. But what happened to Shadow Stars 13? I don't know. I do not know. I guess there's a few options. Maybe he got sick of all of this, which is entirely possible and respectable. That would no, nobody could come back on him for that. So that's a possibility. I don't necessarily think that's it, um, because he's a bulldog when it comes to this stuff. in terms of, being really diligent and getting into the very, very minute details in order to give an accurate, objective picture of what's happening. Um, unless he got burnt out, maybe, I don't know. I know he talked about work being very busy or about to be very busy. So I'm not sure what that is in terms of industry or anything. Um, but I know that was a thing potentially. But we haven't seen him in Telegram either in a while, so can only assume at least that he's got other stuff going on, no matter whatever that is, and whatever it is, we'll respect it and hope that he has time once again to hang out with us. But anyway, and to be honest, Shadow Stars and I met online in 2021. Came across each other's content and interacted a little bit, and then we didn't interact for a while, and then he popped up again, and so cycles, right? Fractals, cycles. Maybe yeah, maybe there's some parallels, but anyway, um, yeah, life always moves forward. Indeed, indeed. Okay, so the real challenge here. Can I do this? I don't think I even want to try. It's okay. So it's hard to see what he's got here, but this is essentially April. This is April. This is September. This is November, December. So April, September, August. That's August. That's the ape thing, I think. And November, December. And we're looking at Cinemark here. So here's April. It's high. August, not so much. And November, December. So minus the bullshit on this here. And I'm curious where this comes from too, that has a run up to April. Obviously, that's not the previous April. I don't know. Um, minus all the bullshit, it seems like this is basically a seasonality coming into play here. Minus all of the Greenspan nonsense. But I could be wrong. Let's send some prayers for Ape Father's wife. She's at the hospital. Okay. Well, we certainly hope everything's okay. And I don't know anything about her health situation, so, but yeah, that's not good. Nobody. Yeah, it's crazy because I spend a lot of time at the hospital too for work, and you know, I rarely get sick. Um, Fairly healthy, but there are a lot of people who are not well, and it always amazes me just how many people are at the hospital and what a hassle it is, how much it sucks. Um, we have masks at our hospital still here, hospitals plural, and yeah, it's just not fun. It's not it sucks. So I definitely count my lucky stars on that one, and wish them the best. So let's get back to Ant here. And I just wanted to throw this out there, the seasonality thing, that there are definitely patterns. There are definitely, repeating elements, but it's not for Moass reasons. It's not for reasons of crime. It's not for reasons of fuckery. It's for seasonal reasons. So, and I think that makes sense. I think we can understand that. So it's like they figured this out on some intuitive level, like, oh hey, is repeating. Why would it do that? It shouldn't do that. That's crime. Or a better one, why are these stocks moving the same way? Why does the chart for GameStop look like the chart for AMC? It must be crime. I mean, if you come into anything blind, knowing nothing, you're liable to misinterpret things because you literally don't know. Like, hey, yeah, because of the way the market is structured now, largely with ETFs and funds and whatnot, yeah, you're going to get a lot of movement very similar. It doesn't mean crime. It doesn't mean this. It doesn't mean that. So this is like that, I think. Like, of course, it's not completely random or new or uh, not reflective of past trends going forward. It's going to be, but what does this mean? So what? And for that matter, so what about the threshold list? Yes. How about the threshold list? Another nothing burger. I was just looking at that. And let's see, here it is. AMC apparently was on it yesterday. Trade date 2/23. But it's weird when I try to go to this page. Of course, now it'll probably work. Yeah, what's going on here? Still working. Does this? Oh, okay. It came up. Last time it didn't come up. I mean, this is a janky ass site. Um, I don't know if I ever actually looked at it, but it's not really that informative of anything. Like, I don't really see why you would want this. Plus, it's delayed 15 minutes. So the data that the exchange gives you is delayed by 15 minutes. What an irrelevant dinosaur that is. Okay. Anyway, we'll get to
Point to
Lou
point.
right after this one.
Sorry, peak to a point. And these are the bars that we've been following the entire time. And with very little deviation, I said to you guys in one of my last videos here, you get a V recovery here, here you're flat on the bottom of the wedge for 10 days, and then you find a bounce, get rejected off the wedge multiple times here. We spent 2 weeks here. Algo really slowed down, still is very slow. You could probably just argue that you come up and retrace off the wedge here just the same way as you do here, and then you'd be landing somewhere in this candle here, in this candle here, trying to see more upside. I'm not really
Yeah.
gonna know what's the
So
trade. I've gone into that a million.
so how can we say that this is following it one for one when here the price went up a lot, and in reality today, I mean, most recently in the actual chart, the price went down there. So, and that's the thing with seasonality. It generally follows a very similar type of contour, but of course, there's going to be things this year that you didn't deal with last year. Sales are going to be different. Everything's going to be a little different, but it's going to rhyme with the past, kind of that kind of thing. Like it's not going to repeat. It's not repeating. It's not literally copying and pasting it like this, but it rhymes with what happened before. And that is not unique to this. I mean, we could go to other stocks. I'm not going to do it. You could go to any other stock that has, clear seasonality. Um, you'll see this. So it's nothing burger, just like the threshold list, nothing burger. I don't even know what happens after 13 days. They get a letter, they get a collections agency calling them. Like, what happens? What actually happens? I forget. I used to know, but I'll tell you, I used to know because I looked it up probably in 2021 doing all this. And now I've since forgotten why. Why did I forget? Because it doesn't matter. Because it means nothing. Because nothing practical in all reality, nothing happens. So why even bother to look it up again? If it meant anything, we would have remembered it, we talked about it because something would have happened. Okay.
Million times. Really what I wanted to show you is this. This is the 1 hour that I showed, I think in my last video as well, where I told you to pause it and really go through this and look at the movement here. And,
Okay.
you know, for the
I'm
most
looking at the
part, this
movement here. Here it goes up. Here it goes down. Here it goes down. Here it goes up. Different. Here it's different. Um, yeah, this is all different. This guy, I mean, let's say this. It's clear he probably should not have been a Navy SEAL. I think they got that. I think that was the right call. Um, but probably need to do another one of those eye exams because this is not really a thing here. But okay,
this was tracking 1-to-1 on a
no, it
time scale
wasn't
range. Just as far as time goes, it was tracking pretty much 1-to-1 up
pretty much
until the
1 to 1,
point where
right?
you gap up here and you're in this this iteration here right before you try to break out of the wedge. This is a few candles here. This took us 2 weeks,
I mean, and
and
the
then this
absurdity of trying to say that 2022, 2021, 2, and 3, which were vastly different years, all three of them, even the first 2 months of the year, the point that we're at now, 2/3 of the way through the first quarter, essentially. How can you say that it would do the same thing? It makes no sense. The chart tells a story. There's a story behind this chart. It's just telling you what the price did that point in the story. What was the story, though? That matters more than what the price fucking was and what the line looks like. So 2021 was speculative excess. 2022 was the reckoning or something, and 2023 is, I guess, to be determined. It's a little bit of both, but you know, all three irrational in different ways. That's the common thread: irrationality. I'm not going to say inefficiency, but definitely irrationality and a disconnectedness from reality. Um, I can't keep going down that line of thinking because if we start talking about irrationality and disconnection from reality, uh, we could get ourselves into a situation where we prove the Moass is going to happen, and I don't want to do that. I'm just kidding, but that those are the elements you need to
was
do that.
extended here
Anyway,
as well, and this is where we are now. This is updated with the price action that we got this week.
okay,
Overall, it looks very,
okay.
very
Well, I'm
good.
going to see where he changes it to
A
something
minute.
else.
And this is what I've been looking at.
Sex zone.
So you have your present day right here on the left, and you have your January on the right.
Yeah, I
You have
mean,
this descending trend line.
January. Like, can we just say that's not going to happen again? January 2021 is not going to happen again now. It literally can't. It's impossible. And he bashed GameStop. Yeah, you're bashing. You're bashing GameStop. I don't like it. They sell games, consoles, NFTs, and they're going to buy out buybacks, entertainment. Um, he bashed GameStop, said it's trash, whatever, garbage. But that garbage is the whole reason that AMC did this in January. I mean, that's some irony. Like, I love that. I love that. So without GameStop and Marantz, don't even, okay? But without GameStop in January, without GameStop and Keith Gill and all of his crimes, no, I'm just kidding. Without all that, you probably don't have this in AMC. I don't think that's that much of a stretch to say. So, yeah. It's funny. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, Lynn. Good evening. I just saw you there. Um, yeah. Ugh. All right,
Time
back
that
to
you hit
this.
4 times. I mentioned this before. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get the lowest wick right here. Same as over here in January. 1, 2, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get your lowest wick right here. Heading into the green iteration here. This was sped up. This is January over here. This is the present day. This was sped up, but still it's up, down,
Sped up.
down, up, up, down, up, down, up into the red.
What?
And this was the point in time where we couldn't really seem to break the 550 resistance over here. You could see you come up to a point and
Oh
kind of
my
like
God.
curl down to your low. Just the same way as you do here. You're curling down to your low. And you get this high wick right here. It kind of forms a W. And then you get this high wick. Just the same as this does. W, you get the high wick there. And then that takes you into the yellow, where you go up, down, and then you gap up, down, and then you gap up. And this is where we are this week. I was expecting to break out into the sec zone this week, but algo is still just refusing to let this thing run. It's really dragging this out, but
Refusing
it is
to
what it is.
let it run.
Still tracking as we always have been. I know I have to say that to people like over and over again, but we're still tracking. Like nothing has changed.
How? How is that possible? Okay? Like, I'm going to push back pretty hard here. No, it's not tracking. It's not tracking. How can you claim that it is? What about this? What about all this green here? Yeah, I was looking for the word. Yeah, green. All this green. Eh, I mean, by this logic, anything will match with anything else. Makes no sense. I don't know if Marantz is in the chat. I just was saying that because I just didn't want anybody to get excited that I said, without GameStop, this would. I'm not praising it. I'm just saying that the reality is that that was the meme stock, I think. Well, Apple was the memes. Tesla and Apple were the meme stocks before that, but not so many words. But okay,
Time
that's all.
frame, yes, that's changed from my initial videos when I said end of January. How, I mean, just looking at the 1 hour, I'm gonna show you guys the 1 hour again. How could I listen? I've been tracking this for a very long time. How could I possibly know, as this is 1-to-1 the entire time, right? 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 1-to-1. How could I possibly know? Because this is when I started making my videos. This gap up here, I was like, okay, we're about to break out of the wedge. This is where we are. How could I know that this was 5 candles and then the algo would drag this out for 2 weeks? And even this has been dragged out even further too. There's no way I could have known that. Trading 1-to-1 this entire time up until you get to, you're trying to break out of the wedge here, really just can't seem to break out of it. Just rejected time and time and time again until you finally break it. 2 weeks plus of trading here was done in 5 days here, maybe less. There's no way I could have known that. Obviously,
Wait, what? Wait, I gotta hear that again. That makes no sense.
can't seem to break out of it. Just rejected time and time and time again until you finally break it. 2 weeks plus of trading here
2 weeks plus of trading here
was done in 5 days here.
was done in 5 days. Wait, so he thinks that I really don't know what he thinks, but it seems like he's saying that okay, somebody's going to define what the price action is going to do. So it's going to follow this general purple pattern here. Okay, so it could do that a number of different ways. It could go straight to it and stay there. It could take its time winding up and down, but going higher or lower overall. Um, but the point is that there's like a definite outcome that's predetermined. And then he just said that okay, in the first purple one, it took a week to do it. Here, it's 2 weeks or whatever, 5 days versus 2 weeks. So like in this year, they they when they programmed the algorithm or told it to go, uh, they specified drag it out over 2 weeks, but do the same thing as that you were going to do in 5 days. I don't really see how that's at all educated, how that's at all even good speculation. It seems like bullshit. Seems like total bullshit. Rejected time and time again until you break it, like his theory. And I'll say this too, going above this line alone, why are you so excited about that? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Okay.
Maybe less. There's no way I could have known that. Obviously, I was wrong from the start on dates. How the fuck can you blame me? Like seriously, like
Well, we
how could
can
you sit
blame you
there
for
and be
even
like, oh,
trying.
you said end of January. Like, look at this. What am I supposed to do? You know,
Well,
it's still tracking. We're still squeezing. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. We're still
oh
squeezing.
my
But I
God.
couldn't have known that the algo was going to slow down to that extent.
You, okay, you want
Anyway,
to talk about stuff that you couldn't know right there. That's something that you cannot know. So, no, you're not squeezing. This is not a squeeze now. Although he's not the only YouTuber that claims that the squeeze has started. Of course, Thomas James said that last year and probably in 2021. Squeeze is starting. We have New York Angelo or Kiev Angelo, whoever, whatever, whoever he works for, wherever he's from, wherever he is recording videos from. Um, we have him literally using a source from 2021, so an almost 2-year-old source. I mean, it's just like, yeah, this thing is running on fucking vapors. This grift is running on vapors. It's so close. It's like it just needs one good smack to bring the house of cards down. I do think that. And one of the indicators that I use is it's not on a chart, it's not anything other than the fact that people who used to be trolls are now subscribers. People who used to be trolls, I've noticed. Not a ton, not a lot, but I noticed it. So it was enough to notice. People who are trolls have become subscribers. I don't know really what that means, but it seems like, yeah, this thing obviously, I don't want to say obviously, but obviously there are a lot of people who still are completely committed to this. But then you have people who, maybe realize that, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? And this guy's, while I don't want to agree with him, what he's saying makes sense on some level. So maybe I should just, maybe I'll just listen to see what he's got to say. And I'll take that. I'll gladly take that. But this whole grift is running on vapors at this point. I mean, you really have no you have no influencers left. Um, I mean, these clowns here, ants trade, scavenger, data zero or zero data, all these guys, they're just very poorly regurgitating. Um, I mean, cycle, fractal, cycle, all this repeating patterns nonsense makes me want to scream. Like, really? We're still talking about this. You're still claiming that it's one-to-one tracking. Well, I think it's important to say that when we talk about the end, Are we talking about the end of AMC and having to do with the company and the stock itself, or are we talking about the ape grift? And I think that's what we're talking about. And but so will the ape grift blow up? I don't see how it doesn't, but I also don't know what it looks like when it does. Certainly be better for business, so to speak, if it blows up. Fizzle out, you know, nobody, yeah, it just that's pretty much what I feel like has been happening, a fizzle out, or at least trying to set up the beginnings of a fizzle out. Yeah, blowing up is more interesting. Aron has one last chance to dilute. He won't waste it this time. Now, Mike the Marine, okay, Marine has a video where he says that he believes that Aron is going to buy Cinemark. How about that? AMC is going to purchase Cinemark with all of that free cash flow they've got. Just what they need. More theaters. More theaters. More unprofitable theaters. Then you'll have AMC and Cinemark in the same markets competing against each other and both of them losing. I don't get it. Like, why would you even want to do that? Why would you want to buy another um I don't think it's going to happen personally, but that's what Mike was talking about, the Marine. Okay, let's continue with this. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit more. Oh, is he going to talk about those long ass can? Oh no, those are his lines.
When you get the W in the blue here and here, it starts cutting a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And then in the purple, you get your absolute.
I mean, and really, it's a waste of money, in my opinion. Like, why would you straight up pay what you owe in cash? I mean, why would I could see, situations to do that, and certainly as a personal person rather than a corporation, I like paying things off. Yeah, if I can plunk it all down once. But why would a corporation do that? It doesn't really make sense to me, especially when they can't afford what they have now. Wyckoff Mining Company. Yeah, Wyckoff Mining. Boy, that's a real shitter of a stock. Holy crap. Holy shit. I was looking at this a little bit ago. I mean, it's not at the all-time lows here, so that's good. Wow, awesome. Oops.
Lowest volume here, decreasing from the start of it and then increasing towards the end of it before you go. And here's the gap down. This is pretty much what I'm expecting on Monday, this price action here, where you have the support, just same thing over here. You have a double bottom here, and here's your support line. You have a double bottom over here. You have a wick here, and this is an opening candle, a 9:30 candle. Usually the most volatile point in the day, but closed above the support. You just wick below it. Double bottom support there. I am expecting to gap down just the same way we do here. I'm expecting to gap down from this and bounce on the support, come back up to the support in the triangle.
I mean, the thing is,
kind of chop around in that range.
Look, this shit, AMC and these meme stocks and the unprofitable tech companies, all the bullshit that has been going up, it's not going to keep doing that. That's not the way it works. And furthermore, the reasons why it went up are probably not due to technical analysis. I'm just going to put that out there. it probably has nothing to do with your bullshit lines and supports and all this crap, right? It probably has to do with institutions, options, and short covering because the volume today on AMC was anemic. Again, it's back to anemic with 23 million. Now, remember, it was like 75 million the other day, last Tuesday, week ago from Tuesday, 70 million. And then it dropped off Wednesday, and then it dropped off more on Thursday, and then today it was 23 million. So that's not the type of retail engagement, not even close, not even close as to what happened in January and June. So that's what I mean by, okay, it's not a bunch of traders that are looking at the same levels, trading those levels subconsciously together somehow, telepathically. But yeah, just doesn't make sense.
Break slightly below the support we have on 590 before getting this, and this is lunchtime, around 12 to end of day. This is what you're looking at. So first half of the day on Monday, I'm expecting.
No, like, no, no. Sorry, but no, 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 no,
To
no.
be pretty bloody, low volume, boring, downside, and then around 12, second half of the day, this is what I'm expecting. Just really quick, because I don't remember if
Wow.
I was going over the volume. So in the purple here, you have decreasing volume to the bottom, and then you start increasing in volume as you are about to break out of this, just the same way we do over here. It's the lowest volume in range here, decreasing volume, and towards the end of the day today, we started picking up again. So, make with that what you will. It looks really, really good to me. Even the volume profile, and this is something that I've been like following these fractals for a very, very long time, and the volume is very, very hard to line up. You can't really quantify volume on fractals for the most part, but this is the 30-minute, and it looks amazing.
Well, I mean, there's also the problem that these aren't fractals. These aren't fractals. No. I mean, that's a very, very loose, liberal usage of that term, even in terms of the stock market versions of fractals. This is not fractals. They're, fractals mean something. It doesn't mean this. We'll get to that in just a second. Oh, Jesus. That anything could mean anything, though, now in the new alternative facts 2.0 world. 2022 to 2023 is a 2-year trend. Something that repeats is tracking a fractal 1-to-1. This is bullish. So anything or post everything, post intelligence here. Like, really? I would hate to see a chart that this guy thinks looks bad. What does that chart look like? Oh, it probably has literally blood spatter on it. Okay.
Like even like the highest volume candles here, you have a higher green one than the second one here. Same over here, and then you have a red higher than both, right there. You come down, you have a lower green there, lower green there. Looks amazing. It's the same exact volume profile, same exact movement.
Looks amazing.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, you can hate me all the fuck you want as a person, but if you could seriously look at my TA and not see what is going on here, I don't even know what to say anymore. Hate me if you want. I really don't give a fuck. But if you could seriously look at this and not see what I'm showing you, you're lost. I'm sorry, but you are.
I think that's a good place to end this video. I mean, his video. Like, I don't know how much more delusional it gets. I don't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say. I don't know what to say. What? You don't know how people can look at what you're looking at and not see what you're seeing. Well, I'll tell you how or why or whatever. I'll tell you why you can do that and I can't because we're not an idiot. We're not idiots. We are not bag holding. God knows how much. This guy is holding a massive bag of losses. I mean, he's in AMC. Pretty much 90% of people are if they're in AMC at this point. So I think that's a good assumption. He's losing a lot of money. Now, that messes with your emotions, it messes with your feelings, it messes with your ability to think objectively. So, he's losing a lot of money, doesn't want to, wants to feel better about it. And what better way to feel better about your loss than, cheerleading, not only for yourself, but for the entire grifted community? Then everybody, you just put out what you just say, whatever you want people to believe, present it as if it were a fact or that it's an opinion. It is an opinion, but this data show it, the data indicate it, and I believe it. I believe my data shows that. And hey, you can call me crazy if you want to, but this looks really good. All the while inside, knowing that you're a fucking fraud, lying, grifting, doing fraud, misleading people. I think it's all about emotions. I think it's all about psychology because this guy has no clue what he's talking about. But he has the confidence to say that if you don't see what I'm seeing, I don't know what to fucking say to you. Look, at the end of the day, this is some garbage. We can pretty much all agree on that. Even apes, even AMC apes are starting to say that this guy's full of shit, that he came into this community, quote unquote community, and started saying what people wanted to hear so that he could make super chats and get donations and make money on his channel. Period. That's what they're saying. Not me. I don't give a fuck. That's what apes are saying. Some. But, you know, usually it's pretty it took a like I said, I think, pretty sure. His popularity is like this. It's like this curve, really. It is. Um, extremely way too quickly ascending to levels that it has no business being at. Does it stay there? Hell no. Hell no. So right now, he's about here. He's got a lot of downside to go, to use an AMC analogy. Look, the AMC chart is tracking 1-to-1 of Ants Trade's popularity and viability in the AMC Grift community. I mean, hey, it could happen. How do we know? There's no way that I could have known that before. Ugh. Okay. Now moving on. Oh, moving on to Lou. Lou from Wall Street. I love when people say that. Lou from Wall Street. No, I don't think he's from Wall Street.
Also, here's another one. Everybody keeps talking about the threshold, the 14 days. Let me tell you something. One, it's business as usual to swap those suckers around. Ain't nothing new. They could be there for a good long time. People are like, well, who's going to assume the risk? The higher the risk, the more they charge the firm that they're swapping those things out for. You got to understand, that's one of the profit source down there. The threshold list, vestigial. At the end of the day, you could transfer it over, start the clock all over again. They've done it so many times. So when you see anybody's like, they're on the threshold list, oh my God, they're going to force them. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not at all.
Yeah, that's 100%. He's
That's
right. He's
why
right.
You see all these freaking AMC synthetics pop up.
Well, not about that necessarily. I mean, it's not synthetics. I mean, again, There's nothing synthetic about it. Nothing synthetic about it. But, and it doesn't even, the thing that's so frustrating about this whole synthetic garbage is uh, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The trade has already been factored into the price. We're talking about literally receiving the package in the mail here. That's what we're talking about. Package is taking a little bit longer to get there, but it's the I don't know. It's this copy of the album that you bought on Amazon. I'm gonna take it back to 90s or something here. Let's say you bought a CD on Amazon, and uh, you could, so you get the CD in the mail, and you could listen to the CD, or with the same purchase, it's one purchase, one item is a CD physical copy and a digital copy that you could download and listen to right away, where you don't have to wait for the CD to come in. That's what it's like. It's like the CD that you're getting in the mail is taking a little bit longer, but you can still use it. You can still listen. You can still consume it. You could still throw it out or get rid of it or give it to somebody else because you have the value of it. You have the, for all intents and purposes, you have it. So anyway, um, Lord Nemesis. Well, hey, it's been a while. How you doing? Yeah, still doing something. Still doing something. It's just, um, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's entertaining, right? It's a bad back. Problem is they're equating it with a physical thing. Well, that's very true. They've been doing this for a long time too. They, for some reason, can't understand how this financial instrument works. In apes' eyes, they say synthetic because it's not physical. Okay, that's a little bit of a filling in some of the details there. Um, but I mean, again, it doesn't matter. We know it doesn't matter. Uh, doesn't the fact that they could sell it, like, and beyond all of this, like, this is the thing that really gets me. Are we talking about short positions here? Are we talking about short positions here? Like shares being borrowed and shorted to establish a short position, which there's 20% short interest of right now, or whatever it is? Or are we talking about something else? Because I'm pretty sure we're talking about something else here. We're not even talking about short sellers. We're not talking about established short positions with a bet of the stock price going down. I'm pretty sure we're talking about market maker operations. We're talking about liquidity. We're talking about failure to delivers that arise from that side of it because there isn't enough short selling in general on it for it to be that. I don't think. So we this has to be centered around, and here's the thing about that. So you're talking about buying then. You're talking about shares that were purchased that are not delivered. So the problem is not with a short seller. Problem is not with a short position that's established. There is no, I mean, that's not even what it is. We're talking about long purchases of shares that are taking longer to come in the mail. That's all this is, as far as I can tell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not talking about positions of short selling. We're talking about long positions that are not settling in time, I think. Yeah, okay, good. So that's it then. So They are all spun around upside down and backwards on this. And I look, I literally saw this too on Reddit. Well, there's OBV and there's a popcorn, but somewhere in here, now I don't know if let's see, it was talking about, well, so what they did was they looked at the short volume. They looked at the short volume and were trying to say that, this and that. They were equating it with short interest. When we know that that if there's anything that people need to understand about short volume versus short interest is they're not the same. And you can't use one to mean the other. But that's exactly what they did, and nobody even questioned it in the comments. I mean, of course, I say this like it's a wow, I can't believe they no, I mean, yeah. Um, I don't know where it is, but it's in here somewhere. I was looking at it last night. Um, anyway, it was one of these people that, purports to do DD and they had a bunch of, math and stuff like that. Whatever. Dumb. Okay. So Nemesis got a full-time job. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Really glad to hear that. That's great. They think the float is filled with more shares than supposed to be. They're ignorant at liquidity. It's just a word to them with no understanding. Right. And the only thing I would add to that is the liquidity to them, all it is something that can dry up. Anytime they talk about liquidity, Donnie George, anytime he talks about it, it's, oh, liquidity's drying up. It's drying up because that's what water does. That's what something that's liquid does. It dries up. What a fucking clown. Okay. You gotta spell his name right, Lynn. Lord Nemedis. Lord none of this. Lord's having none of this. Okay. Are you still in Hawaii? I remembered that at least.
Chop that price down, they'll swap it out. They ain't got no problems with that threshold list. Stop saying that. That to them that's a picnic. That's not what's going to get them. Not that.
I mean, it's not gonna get them. Who? Who? Jesus Christ. I swear to God. Now, sometimes I don't know if Lou, okay, I don't want to say that because I was going to say, sometimes I don't know if Lou knows what he's talking about. Well, obviously he doesn't. Okay. What I mean is sometimes I don't know where Lou is coming from as far as is he just literally talking out of his ass and saying what he thinks people want to hear. And that's probably it. It's probably that simple. Because he's conflating about 4 different things in that short video. Like, just part of the narrative, they and the shorts and whatever, and naked short, whatever, failed to deliver, and they can still do this and that. And, that may be true, may not be true. I don't know. But the ridiculous thing is, like, just, yeah, it's all the ridiculous thing is how ridiculous it is. AMC Moass, dreaming doesn't pay. Yeah, it doesn't. And let me tell you, brother, and you probably know this, uh, Moass debunking doesn't pay very well either. In fact, it probably pays worse in some ways because, yeah. But yeah, Lou is a hustler. But I'm saying, I guess, let me rephrase. Um, does he know? Um, anything. No. Does he say what he says because he's trying to portray a certain narrative, or is he literally just bullshitting? Like, he doesn't really know where it's going to go when he starts talking, and it goes somewhere, and wherever it goes is where it goes. Or is there like, did he think about this beforehand? Is that, and is it, and I don't think it is. I think he makes it up as he goes along too. Yeah, that's a dumb question because obviously he's full of shit. Obviously he's full of shit. So obviously he's wrong. Okay. Lou is at the same time purposely miseducating the apes and unknowingly doing it. Right. That's kind of what I was kind of trying to get toward. It doesn't really matter, but you know, it's like you got to throw in all the right buzzwords. You got to drop the right names. You got to, they, uh, for example, and all that. But anyway, let's see here. Short volume. Oh boy, 61%. Oh my God. They really should be more clear about what this is and is not. It says not short interest. Well, of course not, but um, I mean, like, and I don't understand how people can even interpret it this way. Like, short volume, total short volume reported yesterday, 20 million shares. I mean, what's the total short interest? It's like, how could you have that much short selling in one day if the short interest, and I know what they're going to say. I know what they're going to say. If the short interest is like 120 million, okay, that's 6 days, right? No, yeah, six days at 20 million short every day, that would make up the short interest right there. So how could it be? Now, what they would say is, well, it's because of the naked shorts, of course, because they're naked shorting it. Even though, I finally got the actual, I think, thing in my, figured it out as far as FTDs, quote unquote, turning into naked shorts, but they're, but it, but it's not even part of a short sell transaction in terms of establishing a short position. It's a market maker selling shares to retail investors on a payment for order flow app. So, and there's another thing. The only reason that this is happening that I could see is because of the payment for order flow apps. Okay. Well, they hate those apps. They hate the payment for order flow. It's wrong. It's illegal, whatever. It's Bernie Madoff. But they're using it. Clearly they're using it. They're using Webull almost exclusively. That's like the apes broker of choice now. Which I don't get. But anyway, not being xenophobic, but just like, okay, you think that uh, the U.S. equity market has all these elements of fraud in it, so you use a broker whose parent company is Chinese. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Not really, but they really, I'll say this: the SEC and FINRA, uh, you know, they fucked up when they decided to make all this payment for order flow shit, the the buy transactions to mark them as as short. That's fucking stupid. I'm just gonna come right out and say that. That is retarded. Okay. I understand that, okay, maybe they are shorting it to you. Maybe it is a share that hasn't been secured yet, hasn't been delivered. Okay, fine. But make a new fucking category. Make a new fucking category. It's all it is a goddamn letter. Make another letter and make it stand for that. I mean, hell, it's a big enough business, right? Citadel's making billions of dollars on it. You can't make another fucking letter to indicate clearly, hey, these aren't short positions, okay? Technically, they kind of are, but for a very short amount of time, like 1 to 2 days, and not to make money on the stock going down, literally just because we don't have them in stock yet. We can't give it to you because we don't have it yet. Okay, but we'll take your money and we'll give you all the rights because that's all you get anyway is rights of ownership contractually. You don't get a share. There is no physical share. Doesn't matter. All you have is a contractual claim to ownership. So why did they make it this literally the same code, the same category, the same classification as if I go out and borrow 100 shares and sell them, hoping the stock is going to go down in the next 2 months, and I'm going to buy them back lower. Why is that the same again? I mean, it's because SEC is running on 1970s mainframe computers. Like, what the fuck? That is retarded. And it has caused so much confusion with this. And maybe that's the point. At some point you have to consider this is the point of a lot of this shit. It is intentionally um, obfuscated. You're not supposed to know how many shares are sold short right now. You're not supposed to know that. You can't know that, really. Oh yeah, you can look at ortex estimation, whatever. The best you can do is 2 weeks ago. That's the best you can really do with data, and of course now that means nothing because that was 2 weeks ago. Hell, trading on a 15-minute delay is impossible, much less 2 weeks. Why would you want to trade off a short interest anyway? I don't understand. But here you go. I mean, this is the key thing right here. It's post settlement. There's no price suppression. The price has already been changed. Like, think of it this way. Okay. You could flip this script around and say this. They're worried about it. They're worried about, okay, they're worried about the fact that these shares haven't been bought yet, but they don't even know what they're worried about. That's the fucked up thing. They actually don't know. They don't know what they're worried about because they think that this is hedge funds not borrowing shares and shorting them. When in reality, the point of the transactions, in you know all likelihood, because of the way that this market is structured, which is totally ridiculous to me, but whatever. The So that would be if it was ultimately it was a short position, but it's not. It's a long position ultimately. So they're worried about supposedly the hedge fund uh, shorting something that they don't borrow. They're worried about shares that quote unquote don't exist affecting the price. Okay, but you could flip it around and say the same thing in favor of the apes because you are those shares that were sold to you affected the price depending on what price level you bought at and how the what type of order it was and all that stuff. And we've been over the order book and how that changes, but the shares haven't been delivered yet you potentially positively impacted the price with a share that doesn't exist yet. So how is that fair? How is that fair? It goes both ways. It goes both ways, but because the apes are, only know one way. You want it to be one way. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way. It is. Well, it's both ways, actually. Let's see. It was brilliant. How brilliant it was to name it that. Did they know that sometime in the future a group of idiots would donk their life savings off because they simply misunderstand what that name means? I don't know. I don't know. And it's like it's such a technicality too. Like, yeah, technically it's short position. But typically that shit's covered instantly, instantaneously, basically. And then I read a research paper that said that they looked at FTDs and whatever, and they said that on average they're closed out in 2 days. It's that one settlement cycle. They're closed out. And we see that in the numbers too. You get 10,000 come in on this day, the next day, uh, whatever, half of them go away, the next day, the other half go away. There's a, but this is what happens when there's a system that's in place and it keeps getting added on to, and there's really not very strong regulation or central authority. It's dominated by for-profit, businesses that are really, really trying to make profit, like a lot of it, trillions of dollars. This is what happens. It's fragmented. It's not, I want to say efficient, but I don't mean the market isn't efficient. I mean the structure is like a house that keeps getting added on to. We're going to add this room here and we're going to add this room here. And there was never a plan for this overall thing. It was never conceived of like this. Never. Nobody thought, oh, this is my vision for the market. That was never the case. It's just a legacy system that was added to. Oh, and now we got this exchange that's popping up. And now we got these guys doing this. And it just added on to and added on to. And at some point, and we might, I don't know, maybe we're seeing it now. I probably not. Probably just, sky is falling on my part. But it seems like at some point it really would fail to work. Like, not that it wouldn't work, it would physically, mechanically, it would work. But does it really, I mean, is it really representative? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not going down a conspiratorial path, but in all reality, if we want to be actually truthful about this, and this isn't a conspiracy, I'm just talking about standards. I'm talking about standards that my business would be required to follow. Oh, you know, or any business or anybody pushing around millions of dollars. That shit should be transparent. It should be transparent as fuck. If I'm putting my money into it, I want to know where it's going. I want to know who's playing with it. I want to know who's running the goddamn algorithm that is fucking tracking the fucking DXY to a T when it goes down, but not when it goes up. I want to know who's running that shit. I want to know how. I want to know are there any regulations? Who the fuck's running it? That's the main thing I want to know. But it's it blows my mind that there's as little transparency as there is, and everybody just assumes that it's, oh yeah, it's right. You know, there are there are definitely large institutions, and I'm not even going to say in the stock market because I don't know, but there are large institutions or businesses or firms or whatever commercial entities that make insanely huge mistakes. And it happens, more frequently than, would believe, probably. Are we really to think that there's not any, just even not even nefarious, but just errors I mean, whatever. I mean, this is getting conspiratorial and I don't want it to come off that way, but where's my receipt? Can I check my receipt? Can I see my receipt, please? And can I see that? Can I punch that transaction code into something and see what exactly happened? Not really. Sort of, but not really. Is there anybody you can call? Is there anybody that you can help you with it? No. You just have to trust. I don't know. Just talking out, thinking out loud. But I do think at some point though, a system gets too large for its own good. One hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing, or that the other hand even exists still. So I don't know, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe because there's so much money at stake, and the people that have that much money at stake are the same ones that are running the show. Maybe it will always be solid enough for them to make a lot of money, and everybody else can just, it'll be luck of the draw. I don't know. Anyway, they think they're playing the hedge funds like they're competitors in a team versus a team game. They don't even understand how this game is played. That's another thing. Like going back to 2021, that interview with Melissa Lee, the one guy says, it's not us versus them. That's not what it is. And I don't think anybody else heard that. I heard it. And I tried to get other people to hear it, but that's the stupidest thing I've like that's it's retarded. Makes no sense. No. The point is to make money. Period. Like that's the point. If you have to follow what an institution is doing, or um, if you're short selling something and you make a profit, that's no different than making a profit by buying something at a low price and selling it for high price. Like in both cases, you made money. That's the point. The market knows that. Like it's not like, oh, this is like something we're going to tiptoe around and I don't want anybody to know I'm doing it. No, like fuck that. Who cares? Who cares what you trade, how you trade it? None of that shit fucking matters. Did you make a profit or did you lose money? That's it. That's the only thing that matters. There are no morals or ethics, so to speak. Nobody's going to give you a gold star because you want to play by the rules. It just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, this false narrative of it's retail investors versus hedge funds. Well, I know who I'm putting my money on if that's what it is. If it's hedge funds versus fucking retail investors, are you serious? Like retail investors versus hedge funds? But it's not though. It's every person for themselves, essentially. Okay. Way, way, way tangential. Okay. Okay. I don't have too much more time. Maybe about 30 minutes. So I want to hear more about this popcorn thing because this is curious to me. I'm curious about this.
Boston, let's kick it off. Okay,
Let's do it.
Adam
Let's
Aron
kick it
released
off.
this tweet earlier today around 10, 11, about 11 a.m. And the stock took a nice little rip, a little small one, but it was nice. So this is so exciting. This short teaser shows the beginning of literally millions of microwave pouches being made of AMC Perfectly popcorn for stores near you. Comes news to come soon. How you
Jesus Christ, Al, what did you take your stupid pills? Fucking read. Oh my God. Wow.
can get
Oops.
real AMC theater quality, ready to eat microwavable popcorn. Okay, this short It shows the beginning of, I mean, is this the, I mean, help me to understand something, right? Is this the beginning, or have they been producing it for months and we're just ready to go? I don't understand how this works. Like,
Oh
are
my
we,
God.
is this like a thing where we can all just, you know, pick this up at a movie theater company, or the movie theater itself? Can we find it in stores? He needs to be a little bit more clear with that, be able to articulate that in a tweet or so.
What it says literally says for stores near you, news to come soon on how you can get real AMC movie theater quality ready to eat and microwavable popcorn. Like it literally says, we're going to tell you soon.
Hopefully he does that next week during the earnings call. But I am excited. This is very bullish. And according to this one
Oh
person
yeah,
on Twitter,
super
Uncle Frank
bullish.
sent over to me, that can confirm it's
Look,
delicious. So
look, it's fucking microwavable popcorn. Microwavable popcorn. Wow. Hmm. I'm just looking at other things here, like these comments over here. You guys want to bicker bitches all day, or do you want to take down a hedge fund? I okay, Frank. Good job. I'm with you, Uncle Frank. Sounds like Al might after the trash he's been saying. Look at that. He didn't even why didn't you cut all that off, Al? Oh my God, what a clown. So this is so the context of this tweet, this is hilarious. The context, which who cares about context, um, is Frank bitching kind of about Al, and then other replies bitching about Al. I mean, that's funny. What a clown. What a clown. And that looks like fucking microwavable popcorn. And if I'm being honest, it doesn't really look that appealing to me. And what is with this fucking carpet? Where the hell are they? In an office? In a freaking hotel hallway? What is going on here? How can this person confirm it? It says they're an AMC manager. Is that true? So many questions.
this person has tried the popcorn, and they said it's delicious. That is very bullish for me. I'm happy about that. So that's really great.
Bullish be God damn it. You know that shit is it's microwavable popcorn. That's all it is. The power of suggestion will fool a lot of people. It's what it looks like actually, Lynn. That's actually very good. The popcorn makes you more bullish. Yep. And also makes you more regular. You're having problems? Just eat some popcorn. Boy, these apes must be shitting their brains out. How much popcorn they supposedly eat.
Great.
Jesus.
But yeah, I'm curious to know about these things. I'm curious to know about how the distribution channels are working out. How the whole, like, in other words, do we have enough inventory right now to sell like $1 billion
Why?
worth of popcorn? You know, if this thing is being sold to like Costco's or whatever else, I'd like to know how this is going to work out, because you know, if we spend
Well,
five grand, or you know, $500 worth of popcorn to give to our loved ones during the summer or whatever, you know, or donate them.
God, I wouldn't hate when he gets into his fucking dumbass Boston accent. Fuck. What a
uh you know, we'd like to be able to know about those things. Also, I'd like to see if it's possible if Aron would partner with somebody like the USO, the United Service Organization, so we can buy the popcorn and donate it.
I mean that may be true about the $2 billion industry, but the thing is, um and Adam Aron said the same thing about meetings when they did that Zoom meeting thing. Oh, we got into the $1 billion meetings industry. Well, here's the thing. Uh, that's $2 billion without AMC. Like that's $2 billion industry already exists without AMC being in it. You see what I'm saying? Like, um, what do they what does AMC have to offer? Microwavable popcorn. The AMC name? It's the name. That's all it is. It's the name. There's nothing else really to it because you could do a blind taste test between the top 3 microwavable popcorn brands for a comparable product, and I would be very, very surprised if people could tell the difference unless they already eat it like regularly. But somebody who, maybe has microwavable popcorn once per quarter, once every 3 months. I don't I know that I could not tell the difference between brands. Maybe a value brand versus, you know, the name brand. And I'm not talking like the store brand. The store brand to me is the same as the name brand in terms of quality, 9 out of 10 times on most products. So, um, I just don't see why it matters, I guess. I don't see how it matters. I don't see that it matters. I don't see why it should matter. Uh, AMC popcorn at Big Lots and dollar stores near you. Right. 500 and homeless shelters. Don't forget about that. Food banks. You go to the food bank, they're going to be giving you AMC popcorn. The number of popcorn kernels consumed. Apes need to realize they don't own these businesses. Wow, that's a good point too. That's actually a good point. With the we, yeah, you own stock in the company. And as they like to point out, it's probably not even real stock, you know. But anyway, partner with us to donate popcorn. Nothing more refreshing on the battlefield than some microwave popcorn. Mhm. Yeah, right. Um, okay, so this comment here says, "This is really good news. Hopefully, the company will make a lot of money." Doubtful. Now let's make the shareholders money too. Don't have anything to criticize you on this one. Really? Oh boy. Okay. It's funny that he doesn't follow Adam Aaron. Like, what is Al? What is Al doing anymore anyway? Like, I just don't get it. He's so all over the place. Apes are going to buy the hell out of this popcorn. Right. With what money? Who eats popcorn regularly? AMC popcorn is going to be on the bottom shelf. Should be named AMC bullish as fuck popcorn. Maybe throw a bro in there too. Yeah. Um, like it's just such a random thing. Like I just don't. It seems to me, okay. It seems to me that it's hard for generally it seems like it's hard for businesses who are in one sector that they do one thing to you know not only go into a completely different category of product. I mean, AMC doesn't really have products. I mean, they concessions, but that's food and beverage. Um, there at the location, and that's a secondary thing. That's not why you go. You don't. Nobody goes to the theater to buy a box of snow caps for $5, for example. So, um, yeah, we know that. We know that they're broke. And you know that there are 4 million or so? Uh, I don't know. what's a worse assumption that people that are holding this stock would be losing money, or that there are 4 million people holding the stock? I think that it's probably, well, I forget what I asked. What's the worst assumption or better? I don't know. But I mean, I think it's clear here that, like, you know, people are, I mean, that's a random, I just went to random points here, and that's 80%. So, but yeah, where's 4 million? I want to see some receipts on that from somebody. If they bought in over $10, they're broke. Not 4 million apes. Only the true idiot zealots. And yeah, and the number keeps getting smaller probably, and they keep getting more and more overzealous, which is like, you know, it's like the acid is getting stronger or something. There's less of it. It's dry. Liquidity is drying up, but um, liquidity is drying up, and it's also getting stronger. Like, pretty soon, it's going to be like a gel, acid gel of apes. Oh God. Sounds like a Miami thing. Bodegas that sell stolen products. Maybe you could buy a microwave there. I don't know. You know, okay. Some people don't like microwaves either. Um, well, that's an irrelevant question. Sorry, I'm not going to answer that. But it sounds like you're mad. So I'm just gonna let that one stand. Um, no, and by the way, nothing's performing good. I don't think. I mean, natural gas today, but performing good for me is probably different. Anyway, let's see here. What else we got? AMC popcorn in production, right? Okay.
There.
That she was fun. I mean, I literally trade options on the stock indices like QQQ and SPY. That's pretty much it, because I'm interested in making money. I don't, you know, yeah. So you get some, these guys in here. I mean, yeah, they trade all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that I don't ever, go in anything else, but I mean, I'm a short-term trader, so don't invest in and out, and don't fall in love. I mean, yeah, pretty much like, uh, yeah, I mean, I personally, I dig speculation, and you know, it's like, I don't know why people are so weird about that. Like, I like short-term speculation. That's what I really enjoy in this arena. Uh, the risk reward profile is different and fucked up, and you know, it could be compared to gambling. Could be. Um, that doesn't mean that's what it is. Uh, it doesn't mean that you're dealing with with 100% chance factors here. So you don't know which dealer at the casino is going to deal better cards to you. it's kind of random. But I know that, hey, based on what's going on with the dollar, based on what's going on in Europe, based on what's going on with the weather or whatever, uh, you know, this movement in the dollar is potentially indicating that this energy could go this way, natural gas or oil. That's not gambling so much. I mean, it's, of course it is, but it's not. There is some type of thesis anyway. Lynn trades cricket futures. That's pretty cool. BlackRock, Blackstone, and JP Morgan. Yeah, Nvidia. Another example of, and I'm not trying to piss on your parade. I'm not trying to do, I'm not trying to pour champagne on your parade. But re really, does that, I mean, and I'm not saying to what you said, but does this make any sense? Does this make any sense whatsoever? It doesn't to me. I mean, if you go into the earnings report, pretty much every one of their product areas is down. Um, I don't get it. I think it's indicative of the, well, Maverick of Wall Street calls it the mania, but um, you know, yeah, mania essentially, or options related, whatever. Um, I don't see how this is warranted at all, personally. I mean, especially when, I mean, the goddamn stock is art was already up, you know, like 60% potentially. Oh, we're gonna get right back to AMC. And it's not even AMC. I mean, this is where you misunderstand. AMC grifters, the misinformation. I really could not care less about AMC itself. I mean, it happens to be, you know, a poorly managed company that's at the end of its corporate life cycle, more than likely. But the industry itself is so old fashioned. I mean, there were literally theaters 100 years ago that weren't that different. They had concession stands and they showed movies, and they all have the same thing. Like there's a Cinemark. What are they, then they call it what the fuck do they call their fancy seats? Ah, le, oh, I forget what they call it. But anyway, and I forget what AMC calls it. But they have the nice seats too. Everybody has the same shit. What's the difference between Crest and Colgate? What's the difference between Scope and, you know, well, okay, maybe that's different. What's the difference between, Aquafresh and Arm& and Hammer? At the end of the day, we have the illusion of choice as consumers. But does it make a difference which movie theater you go to? No, it makes no difference. What makes a difference is whether you go to the movie or not. And this is the same argument for like Harbor Freight tools. Like, yeah, I'm never going to be able to afford a good welding machine, anytime soon. So if I want to do any welding, I can buy a Harbor Freight machine, and it's not that great, but it works. And I'm not a professional, and I'm not doing anything important. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to have a tool, not for it to be the most expensive, but the choice is either have a lower end version or have none at all. I'd probably rather go with the lower end version. So the same thing I think is true here. Did you see the movie? Yes or no? would it be better to see the movie at theater that you quote unquote don't like, or not to see the movie? And I think the better choice would be to see the movie wherever you could see it. I don't know if that anybody else feels that way, but it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I've never ever thought about, oh my God, no, we can't go to National Amusements. Oh my God, no, I have to go to Regal. Or, oh shit, I can't go to Regal. We have to go to Cinemark. I just can't stand those guys. No, I mean, I don't know personally. I've never done it. I don't know anybody that cares until this. And now it's like, oh, AMC is so different. Not really. Not really. But if they do buy Cinemark, yeah, and that's what I want too. I want to be around a bunch of people that have been drinking or that are drinking in this setting where I'm taking my family. I mean, all of it's just garbage to me, but I don't go to the movies anyway, so but I'm just, yeah, and does it matter, Ron? I don't think it matters. Um no, it doesn't matter. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what else is out here real quick. Oh, look, Tony DeNaro. We'll do him. We'll do Tony. Okay. Zero data. Like buying AMC at $2 in 2021. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. Motherfucker. God, this is just such garbage. All right. Hey. All right. Okay.
Hey guys, Tony DeNaro here. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, February 24th. There are some updates that I want to run through really quick with you on this video regarding Allegheny County versus...
Nice hat, Smith & Wesson. What are you trying to say, Tony? What are you trying to say?
AMC, this dispute over the preferred stock and the upcoming vote on March 14th, the conversion of the preferred stock into common and the reverse split. There was some court action on the 23rd. I've got the updates for you. Let's get right into it. The proceedings that you see on the screen here are from the Delaware Court of Chancery, which is the court where this case is being heard. The box that we're going to be looking at here
is
the one at the very bottom.
Does he really have a vape pen?
Thursday, February 23rd.
Are you serious?
There was a telephone conference on Thursday between the judge. Her name is Vice Chancellor Morgan Zern.
Oh, she's a Citadel shill. She's a Citadel shill. Come on. Come on, look at this lady. Where is she? I mean, this is bullshit.
The proceedings that you updates for you. Let's get right into it. The proceedings that you see on the screen here are from the Delaware Court of Chancery, which is the court where this case is being heard. The box that we're going to be looking at here is the one on the very bottom, the update from Thursday, February 23rd. There was a telephone conference on Thursday between the judge. Her name is Vice Chancellor
Yeah, there she is. Oh, wow. She's a Citadel, total Citadel shill. Oops. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Morgan Zern. I'll put her picture up here. Counsel for the plaintiffs was on the phone call, as well as counsel for the defense, which is AMC. I'm going to go through with you some of the details of what was said on that phone call between the judge and attorneys for both sides. Net result of the phone call, though, if you just want to skip everything else, is that there is going to be a hearing on March 10th between the counsel for plaintiff and defendant and the judge. So maybe we'll have some resolution by then. Maybe it will drag on. We'll know more on March 10th. In the meantime, counsel for both sides has agreed to meet and confer on discovery. And so that is what's going to be happening between now and March 10th. The updates that I'm going to be reading to you today are courtesy of the Chancery Daily, summarizing and analyzing corporate and commercial law in Delaware courts. And I'll put a link here on the screen for you if you want to go show them some support. Chance, the lawyer over at Chancery Daily, was giving us kind of a...
Is that actually an ad? Is that a sponsored moment? Or is he just making it sound like they're sponsoring him? That's weird to me. Okay.
To go show them some support. Chance, the lawyer over at Chancery Daily, was giving us kind of a blow by blow as the conference call was happening. I'm going to go through
blow by blow.
He starts off by saying this kind of initial conference is fairly standard in an expedited TROMTE case, that is temporary restraining order or motion to enforce, where there are consolidation and other process issues to sort out, because Chambers does not do ex parte communications, but yet wants to be able to talk through the issues with the parties in real time, and obviously wants to do so on the record. Vice Chancellor Zern says that this will be strictly a scheduling conference. She says that there have been routine email communications with her chambers and just wants to use this conference for administrative purposes. 3 questions to answer: what type of hearing, when, and when leadership structure. Council responds that they have a leadership structure ready to go and hands off to Mark Lebov. Responds that
who cares about all this shit? I mean, why do I care? Literally, why do I fucking care about what they wrote on fucking Mastodon? I mean, use fucking Twitter, you fucking twats. Use Twitter. Mastodon. God. Why? Yeah. Oh, okay, whatever. I'll just let him go. Like, I'm never ever going to look at content like this and come away with any meaning unless the person talking about it is a lawyer. And even then, I may not come away. So there are some really good lawyers on YouTube that explain things very well. You can't just read this shit and have it make sense. They need to interpret it. How's he going to do this? I don't know.
They have a leadership structure ready to go and hands off to Mark Lebovitz to address 220 board materials. 220 board materials refers to Section 220 in the Delaware law that gives the plaintiff the right to go look at the corporation's books. And he starts by discussing the fact that from the 220 request, they received documents that would go to the irreparable harm prong, step 1, and filing of a certificate of amendment which would alter the capital structure of the company, step 2. They want a SQO, status quo order, by March 14th, or a TRO, temporary restraining order, so that the certificate could not be filed.
Yeah,
the next
public
update
info.
we have, the plaintiff's counsel is discussing the issue of when or whether to present how much of the substantive claim on the merits versus just presenting the TRO hearing in the first instance. Vice Chancellor Zern asks, what is your preference? Plaintiffs respond, we would present a TRO on March 8th if that's what's available. We would take whatever discovery is available to inform the hearing in theory at the March 8th hearing. Your Honor would either enjoin the vote or let the vote go forward. For the non-legal scholars watching, enjoin means to prevent something from happening or to issue an injunction to stop the vote. Now we have the defendant responding. The counsel
Yeah,
for
I would
AMC,
never,
they have
ever
some issues
watch
with the
never watch a video like this from somebody like this. I mean, it's no offense to, and don't take that personally, Tony. I know good lawyers, and I know good lawyers on YouTube. I would never care. I would never care enough to listen to this. Actually, Lynn, it's a counterintuitive word.
The leadership structure, it sounds like, due to the differing claims, it's unclear what he's saying about that. With respect to the timing, he first starts by saying the apes were created in August 2022, the preferred series stock, and the first 220 demand made by the plaintiff to AMC was made in December.
Apparently it's
and the first proxy was made in January by AMC, and that the emergency then is the plaintiff's fault, not the defendant.
It is
the defendant's
specific to the
is
law.
Highly expedited discovery, obviously, because we have a vote on March 14th and a preliminary injunction presentation on March 10th at 1:30 p.m. if available. Alternatively, if the court can't accommodate that, is to have a hearing at some later date, permit the vote to go forward, but assuming a yes vote, not effectuate the vote, i.e. not file the amendment to the certificate of incorporation until the court rules. But the preference is to have the preliminary injunction hearing on March 10th.
I mean,
that's
ultimately the
Next,
point.
the plaintiff requests to respond. Your Honor, two things in the response. The timing issue is not one of the plaintiff's making.
Yeah, like, this is empty words. Like, could he, without reading these fucking mastodons, whatever they're called, summarize it? Like, has he read it all, internalized it, and could he say it in his own words back to me what's happening? If the answer is no, why are you making this video? Put simply, why? Why? You don't really know what is happening. You can't say it in different words yourself. Why the fuck are you reading this publicly available information? Let's see here. A lot of different threads here happening, but so what is it? Black's Law Dictionary? Yeah, I think so. I'm just curious now because yeah. So we'll see that. To be fair, Tony says Wyckoff Mining is a long-term speculative play. Very long-term, very speculative, I guess. But no. I mean, look at this stock. Look at this shit, okay? Come on. Look at this fucking thing. Oh, that's super bullish, man. Oh, if Ants Trades was here, he'd put a line here and say, "Oh, look, we broke the wedge." Look at that. It's a 17-year downtrend. I don't know. I'm just, yeah, no. It went from, I mean, shit. It was like in the $3 range. It hit $3. Look at all this. Look at the volume too. No volume whatsoever. And then here's the AMC nonsense, and then it goes back to no volume. Yeah, it is a pump and dump. Absolutely. Look at who was involved. You know, what was that Mudrick? And what's that other guy? Shit. I forget his name. But he's already out. He already sold. He's already done with it. I mean, why? I mean, obviously, anybody who's not at this point, which includes AMC, I think, like, at the end of the day, I don't mess. Personally, I would hardly ever, if not, never have any interest in these fucking penny stocks. I don't care how, what it is. Most of this shit is worthless. Yeah, I mean, exactly. If there was gold, quality gold there, it would have been mined. They're just going to let it sit there. No, counsel doesn't enjoin. The judge, it's something the judge does. I don't know what he said. I don't know what was said. I don't know what the person wrote, but counsel doesn't do shit. I is that really what they said? Counsel? I thought it said counsel asked petitioned the judge to, and I don't know. Anyway, it's all so seemingly irrelevant and stupid that defendant wants to reply. Like, God, just tell us what fucking happened.
This is comments from our narrator. Vice Chancellor Zern has a proposal for the parties. Vice Chancellor Zern says that she hears the parties agreeing to an expansive and fulsome discovery protocol in 24 hours, as we mentioned back at the beginning of this video. That box at the bottom of the screen.
Seems like it was 24 hours ago.
She will set a preliminary injunction hearing for March 10th. If not, that will be a TRO hearing. She's basically...
Bet this guy's a hellraiser when he drinks. What do you think? I could see it.
calling the defendants to the carpet for their promise to do discovery in an expedited and fulsome manner. The protocol should be how discovery should take place, when, and from whom. And if they cannot agree to those things within 24 hours, that was by the end of the day today, then the March 10th hearing would be a TRO, not a preliminary injunction hearing. Zern is presenting an excellent solution, the narrator goes on, and the parties are fighting about other things, really missing her point.
So who is this person now? Chance, the lawyer, is editorializing it for us, telling it's an excellent solution and that they're missing her point. I don't necessarily like that either. Like, is this really a lawyer? Chance, the lawyer from the Chancery? It sounds gimmicky. I don't like it. Don't like it. Fuck Delaware, by the way, too. The first state? Yeah, whatever.
Oh, that's what attorneys do, my friend. She'll find another later date. They are showing up on March 10th, no matter what. The judge is about fed up at this point. She says, okay, you can also have a later date for the preliminary injunction hearing. You can set that up with Chambers. That is all. 24 hours, guys, to get discovery plan in place. So bottom line, our narrator says we're having a hearing on March 10th. Depending on what happens in the next 24 hours and how well defendants can play with the plaintiffs in coming up with a discovery plan in good faith, it's either going to be for a temporary restraining order or a preliminary injunction on March 10th. That is the summary for what we have as of today, Friday, on the Allegheny County versus AMC. Chance, the lawyer, does have one comment here about the second case, Osvaldo Munoz versus AMC. He says, I've been reviewing the public versions of the AMC redacted confidential complaint and motion for SQO, or status quo order, or the TRO entered in the second case. They feel overly redacted, so there's not much for us to enjoy. But remember that the vice chancellor
is there anything for us to enjoy?
Is not reading a redacted version. The judge has the full details. She has access.
Oh, really? The judge has the judge is not reading the redacted version. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for reminding us of that, Chance.
To the information under seal, so it's important to always keep that in mind. We will keep track of that one as that case progresses as well, and keep you updated here on the channel. I sure hope that if you didn't find this entertaining, you at least found it informative. Check back with me. I'll have more updates with you.
And
if this is your first time here on the channel,
you want to see the chicken coops?
Buy and hold that subscribe button.
What's the name of them?
Like the video, share it with your friends. I am Tony DeNaro, and I will see you on the next video.
I really, they should have done this a long time ago. Let's see. Oh, fuck. Lone Star Coops. Lone Star Coops trademark application of Anthony Franzetti. See how I found this here. Lone Star Coops. Cool name. There it is. I don't know anything about this, so yeah, but there's his wife. I think, right? Yeah. Lone Star of Ohio. Huh? What? Lone Star of Ohio. I'm not aware of any Lone Star. You're in the wrong state. You're in the wrong state here. Yeah, I don't think that's the same one. Obviously not. Unless he's already expanded out. No. Either that or it's like a MLM. So like Amway. It's the Amway of chicken. Anyway, but that's it. LoneStarCoops.com. Thank you to our sponsor, by the way, of this stream tonight, the LoneStarCoops.com, quality custom chicken coops. Don't no, he's in Texas. I'm in Ohio, not a cowboy. Um, but Lone Star of Ohio, that's something totally different. I have no idea. But anyway, Lone Star Coops, thank you for sponsoring this stream tonight. Appreciate it. Even though we don't have any chickens, my cat likes the coop. It's his house. So anyway, yes, you got it, Cat Zone. I like this. Being based in Texas, the team at Lone Star Coops are familiar with temperature extremes. Oh, really? Because last time I heard that you had freezing temperatures, all fucking shit broke loose in your state. Like everything was a shit show. Yeah, you can have chickens in Cleveland. 100%. Yep. People do, actually. My old next door neighbor used to. My old next door neighbor had two or three chickens. And well, one time they jumped up on the fence and came over into my yard. Oh yeah, if you don't like the weather here, you just wait about 15 minutes and you might like it then. But hey, next time you're in Cleveland, let me know. Or that goes for everyone. There, out there, out there. Well, you know what? We didn't even get to this book. I guess I'll have to do another stream about it some other time because I gotta bounce off here now. But uh, well, anyway, everybody should check it out. And in fact, I'll indicate where I got it from. Why is the name? Oh, Patrick Boyle just put out a video. No, you won't, Lynn. I don't know what you're talking about. Patrick Boyle put out this video, tulip bulbs, bored apes, and bubbles. I'm going to put the link in here. Everybody can go watch it. He talks about this book. I thought it was interesting. And there's definitely some parallels to the apes so that there it is. I know some people already follow Patrick Boyle. highly recommend that you do if you don't. And let's see, let's make sure that nothing is at hand. Okay. So I got two more little quick things. Here's Matt Stoner acting, apparently. Whoa! Nice hair. This was filmed on location in Matt Stoner's apartment.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
Well, good morning, Alex.
Oh,
Glad you actually woke up for our session this morning.
Oh, no problem. You know, what do I have to do today?
What do you do any day, Alex?
Oh, hey, come on now. You know I try.
You know, Alex, I've been going over our progress reports, and we still have quite a bit of work to do. I mean, sitting on the couch eating Fruit Loops isn't going to get your life back.
They're corn pops.
Right. Well, I'm here to help you. So let's start talking about getting you outside.
Fuck that. I'm not ready.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Listen, Doc, there's a lot of
Nice.
messed up shit out there, right? And I sure as hell don't want to be a part of it. All right, I'd rather stay here where I
Yeah,
know I'm
this is
safe.
horrible.
And you really think that that's what's best?
It works for me.
Fair enough. Did you try any of the exercises from last week?
Didn't even touch them.
Why does he have this really uncomfortable it's like he speaking words is like hard for him or something, like the way his
That's what's
face,
best.
his facial expressions, like what the fuck?
Listen, I'm safe.
So weird.
And you really think that that's what's best?
It works
God.
for me.
Fair enough. Did you try any of the exercises from last week?
Didn't even touch them.
Look, Alex, you're my first client. Come on, Alex, humor me for once. You're making me look bad at the office.
What, are we talking about your problems now?
Fine. Fine, if you don't want to talk, I guess we're done for the day.
If you don't want to talk, God, he sucks. Oh my God, terrible. Let's see. And I'm just gonna play a little bit of this. I don't want to get to the sad development.
Lone Star Coops.
I think he got Wrench Capital to do that bumper for him there.
Howdy guys, this is Tony with Lone Star Coops, and I am just doing an update on the chicks. Today they are 11 weeks old, and it's kind of a sad day today because we are selling 4 of them.
Oh, that's the sad development, selling 4. I thought that they were gonna say that one died or something or whatever. August 12th, 2020. Look at that. Before the next grift, came back up. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Lynn. Always anyway. Tony D turns out to be a hoarder of chicken shit and dead chickens all over the house. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, probably.
One black Polish is already gone. The other black Polish right there, he's a rooster. He is leaving tomorrow. And on Saturday, one of the barred rocks and one of the Australarps are going to a new home. So this is our last chance to video everybody together. We'll be keeping the silkies for several more weeks just to make sure we have them properly sexed, but we're pretty sure we have 2 female silkies and 1 male.
Okay, fascinating. All right. Have a good night, guys. I gotta get off here. I will see you on Sunday for the futures, probably. I have to work tomorrow, so well, I don't have to, but I am. So anyway, let's see here. This is the best AMC video that you're going to find on here right now, hands down.
कि हाथ को ऐसे रब करने पे फील हो रहा है इसके अंदर। हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय न्यू ब्लॉग। तो आज हम लोग जा रहे हैं झांसी कार की AMC सर्विस करवाने के लिए। एक जगह से तो उसके ऊपर जो भी कवर है वो डलवाना है। देखते हैं कि कौन सी शॉप मिलती है, क्योंकि मुझे कोई भी नहीं है। तो चेयर हम लोग
Moass on Tuesday. All right. See you later. Good night. Peace.